The situation at Spurs is oh so wrong. It's all part of Phoenix and Levy's con. A world-class stadium, second-rate team. Spurs are winning nothing under this regime. Together we need to shout, Levy and Nick out. Together we need to shout, Levy and Nick out. Intense are filling their coffers to the brim. The football forecast looks so grim. Spurs last cup win in 2008. Unlike a proper investment, it's what true fans hate. Together we need to shout, Levy and Nick out. Together we need to shout, Levy and Nick out. Intense are filling their coffers to the brim. The football forecast looks so grim. Spurs last cup win in 2008. Unlike a proper investment, is what true fans hate. Together we need to shout, Levy and Nick out. Together we need to shout, Levy and Nick out. Project Youth, just another Levy feast. Dismantling Spurs history piece by piece. The stadium, just an entertainment hub. No true fan wanted this for our club. Together we need to shout, Levy and Nick out. Together we need to shout, Levy and Nick out. Legendary Bill Nick would turn in his grave if he knew how the owners now behave. Corporate greed and no success. We need to work together to get our club out of this mess. Together we need to shout, Levy and Nick out. Together we need to shout, Levy and Nick out.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Tottenham Away, the best place to be in town on a match day. It's myself. I'm here with Adam, a.k.a. Adam Bunce, a.k.a. Adam the Yid, a.k.a. Adam the Man. He's with us for the watch-along today. Adam, how you doing, bro? Good to see you.
Style, bro. It's all good. Well, I'm very well. Thank you very much indeed, man. Thanks for inviting me on your show.
Absolutely, man. Always welcome. So, We'll do the lineups. We'll have a quick look at the lineups. Very quickly, everyone watching the show today, smash a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. You know the usual practice. Let's say a quick hello to a few people in the chat. Big up to William. How you doing, my man? Channel member. Good to have you here. Charlie Rodriguez, original Tottenham Away supporter. How are you doing? He's not happy with the starting lineup. We'll definitely look into it. Big up to Eugene. How you doing? Runigan, hope you're doing well. Ronnie's in the house. Another one not happy with the lineup. Henry Thong TV, channel member. Big up to you. We've got Glenn, Sammy, and the boys. How you doing? Soul Boy, how you doing? He says hello, Stel and Adam. Henry Thong TV, channel member for 23 months. Big up to you. Everyone in the chat, thanks for being here. Appreciate you all. Adam, I don't know if you've seen the team lineup, but I'll get it up on the screen. We'll have a quick chat about it. Just to let everyone know, we will be going live for the actual game itself on Big Up. There's the link down below. We're going to go on there about 1:25 p.m. So we start here, then we move across to Big Up. But the starting lineup, Vicario in goal, no surprises. Spence at right back, his preferred position. Udogie comes in, so Pedro Porro is given a rest, and Udogie goes to left back. No Van de Ven. Danzo's injured. But Romero starts again with Ben Davies. I'm concerned about that as a partnership. I do not like Romero, Ben Davies, especially Udogie playing next to Davies. I'll get your thoughts in a minute, Adam. In midfield, Archie Gray, it looks like, might be starting in the number 6. Is this true? We're going to find out. We'll see where he plays. But he's in midfield, that's for sure. Bissouma and Bentancur also in the middle. No number 10 again. I don't get it. We don't like playing with an attacking mid in the league. Looks like it's going to be Donut FC again. That midfield is concerning. And then across the front, Johnson, one wing, Tell on the other wing, and Solanke up front. This is a chance now for Tell to show us that he can play as a wide inside forward. I've said he's not a striker ever since he's been at the club. Let's see what he can do. Johnson starts. And on the bench, we've got Van der Ven, Pedro Porro, Pape Sarr, Bergvall, Maddison, both the attacking mids on the bench. Odebert, who had a good game against AZ Alkmaar, Son and Scarlett. So a pretty strong bench. Adam, looking at that starting lineup, what are the positives and what are the negatives for you, if any?
Well, the positives for me is that I think it's going to shape around the forward line, right? So you've got Tal on the left flank rather than being up front. Flank is obviously the hit man up front. I was a bit surprised of the negative side. Bergvall should have got in there because he's starting to come into his fruition a little bit. The defence, again, is a bit suspect, like you said. Romero with, who was it, Davis? Looks a bit dodgy to me. But then we're depleted in defence, aren't we, still? So we haven't got much to kind of play with because we've got, well, apart from Van der Ven on the bench. But I think Andy's trying to just get him more geared up to fitness and not to kind of intricately damage his hamstrings again. He's been notorious all season. It's a bit of a cross mix, to be honest, Stel. Midfield looks it could be a bit better, but I'm interested in what Gray's going to be doing. Like you said, he's been put in there. Is he going to be the number 6 defending behind the forward line and the defence? So that'll be interesting. That's one positive for me. But again, it's the defence that's been chip-chop shaped so many times. But I'm happy with Spence going on the right wing. I think, personally speaking, because he's so he's quite adverse to playing left or right side, I'm not concerned about that. I just think the middle central defence Romero is just probably the only one slight weakness with Davies playing in there. But it's been tested before, still, that Davies has been quite reliable. But I don't know. It's cross mix 50-50, positive and negative overall, I think.
When you look at that starting lineup, Adam, do you feel that Ange is almost surrendering the league? He's almost given up on the league. He's not really going for it. Because if he really wanted to win this game today, Maddison or Bergvall would definitely start. I think start. Odebert after midweek, he would definitely start. So do you think, just looking at the lineup, he's not really bothered about the league games anymore?
I think because we're slightly, well, compared to a few weeks ago, Stel, that we were a bit worried where we were lingering down to the bottom. I think we can safely say we're not going to get relegated. So I think it's just kind of, again, I think he's giving match time to those players that have been injured. So I think his emphasis now is to kind of gear for that Europa quarter final. I think that's where he's now got to efficiently manage his players. So he's got to efficiently manage his players without avoiding any risk of injury. So yes, I think the answer to your question is yeah. I think he's given up with the league. I think it's just to get whatever points we can get. And Fulham are no mugs, by the way. They've given us a test over the last few seasons. So yeah, I think that's where we are.
Well, Fulham, let's get the league table up.
Well, they're above us anyway, aren't they?
Most teams are above us.
Yeah, well,
most teams are above us, mate.
Especially when reporting their potentially their manager as well. What's been allegedly being said, him and Areola.
Well, look, if we look at Fulham in the league right now, I'll get the league table up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So Fulham are currently 10th. They are 8 points ahead of Spurs.
No, they're not.
And no, not at all. They lost their last game. They basically lost 2 in the last 5. They've won 3. Spurs have pretty much. Spurs are actually on a slightly better record. We've only lost 1 and drawn 1, so we're in slightly better form. In terms of goals for, Fulham have scored 41. We've scored 55. So we're definitely better in the attacking front if you just look at goals only. Goals against, Fulham have conceded 38. Spurs have conceded 41. So pretty similar. So if you just look at those metrics, you'd say it's a pretty even game, but we know Fulham at home this season have been a very difficult team to play against.
Yeah. Just like what Bournemouth were last week. I think it might be a close game. I think we might give them a run for their money, obviously, but we don't know, because when we finally got over the line beating AZ in the midweek Europa game, and we were kind of more switched on with our style of play. I'm just concerned what kind of team Angie's going to set up and how we're going to play. Because the problem, as you know, Stal, over the season, is that, Angie's very suspect, where the high press, scoring loads of goals, fantastic, but then the opposition know how our defence is. And because we've got no kind of defence midfielder, we're just getting constantly exposed, where the defence are just moving up. And we're just getting exposed. And I think that's what the problem is. Which kind of plays Ange going to be doing this time? Are we going to keep it? Are we going to keep close shot, keep it, really tight in defence, or is he just going to go gun ho? I don't know. That's the problem.
One thing I've noticed this season is we play with 2 at the back when we attack. And because we don't play with a 6, what happens is a centre-back sometimes has to step forward or step across into the space where the opposition are attacking, which is where our 6 would be positioned. And because our centre-back is having to step into that role, it effectively creates a gap. Yeah. And that's how Bournemouth played the ball in for their second goal at our ground. That's where we conceded against Ipswich. I see it happen time and time again. And if you saw against AZ Alkmaar, the goal that they scored was a mix-up between Bergvall and Odebert. What area of the pitch was that in? The number 6. For 6 is there, he tidies that up. If that's Palacios, Parker, Højbjerg, Wanyama, okay, they're different levels. That incident is far better managed. But what's happening is we're asking players that don't play in the 6 to play the role of a 6, or the centre-back to step into it. And that's where a lot of our problems start. Yeah. Why he doesn't want to play with a 6, I don't understand. When you look at the goals we concede and the way teams get into us in that middle area, it's because there isn't a 6. No. I've done many videos on this. I do tactical analysis shows. Tomorrow I'm doing one on Big Up. And it's the same thing over and over again. And like today, let's see if Archie Gray plays in the 6, because he says he's a 6. Maybe, Adam, we might see something different today.
Well, let's fingers crossed. Let's see something different. I think the emphasis is just get as much points for the league. I think, like I said before, we're not kind of worried about being in the relegation zone. I think he may be just shaping up the players to keep a match fit, and then probably try the system with Gray. See, hopefully he might be the one that we've been saying all season where he should be playing. But again, like you said, I just want to backtrack when we played Bournemouth, and I was really fuming because when I watched it, I just thought we've got no transition in the middle. There isn't that balance between where the strikers, not forwards, are doing what they're having to do, and then we're just lopping the ball high up in the air, passing it sideways, passing it backwards. I was putting it on the WhatsApp group, Stella, that I was really getting frustrated by it, and it's just the same old pattern theme. And luckily, we just got a draw. And I just don't see that kind of thing. We need to have proper transition in the middle and have control and calm, and not have the central defence come straight up, because that's what the problem is. We're getting so sussed out because of Andrew's system. I just kind of like given up halfway through this season after the few months prior to Christmas and after where we were going. And let's just see if obviously Gray might be the answer today, and then obviously hopefully then if things don't go in the right plan, then get the subs on as quick as possible and get what's his name, the Swedish midfielder, Breville, just on there. He obviously we've got no Kulu because obviously he's injured. Let's just see what's going to happen.
Well, people in the chat are saying really good says Gray is going to cook. This is the same person that says that we were going to win the Carabao Cup at Anfield, the game. So I'll take that with a pinch of salt. Runigan, you do get a bit too carried away. We'll see. Maybe he will cook. Howling Mad Murdoch says Johnson does nothing except the odd tap in. I agree. Fulham 4, Spurs 1. Okay, you said Gray's going to cook, and then you predicted Fulham to battle. I don't understand. It makes no sense. Only at Spurs do we have fans. It's crazy. What a fan base.
But the thing
Robert says if...
Oh, sorry. Carol. No, you can't.
Go.
No, I was just going to say, even if some of the kind of pessimists are just saying whatever they're saying about Gray, give him a chance. It's his first proper role in the midfield role. All right, he's been
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
He's been playing in the centre defence, I think, remarkably well, and he's been one of our outshone players of the season, along with now Spence and now with Bergwell. We said about Project Youth, didn't we, at the beginning? Where was it? But you can see little bits in tangents that it's developing just because of the injuries we've had all season. But I think you just got to give him a chance. If we can just stick with the system, put him in the number 6, let Ange be a bit more consistent. I mean, the only thing I would say, actually, to backtrack again, sorry, Stel, your question, more, why is he being excluded? He scored a wonderful goal in the under-21s in the week, a few nights,
Mate, listen.
Why is he just
Adam,
disregarding him now?
I've done many shows where I've brought this up and I've explained it, and I'm blue in the face repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Our academy players have been completely mugged off, and we've brought in players that don't play well, and they're getting the minutes an academy player could have got, that could have started their career. So if we have this chat, we're going to be here for 10 minutes. It does my head in. I agree with you. Robert says, if Gray affects the progressive passing by Fulham under 10, then good on you, Ange, but no creativity in midfield. Yeah, we have said there's no creativity, Robert. We agree. Soul Boy, spot on still. He's confused. He's given up. He's talking about the league games. I think Levy would have a say over 10th. Well, if what am I doing with this? This is my, what do you call it? Letter opener, envelope opener. If we finish mid-table, no trophies, there will be conversations to be had for sure. George says, winning today, bench looks strong. I agree, the bench does look strong. Or stronger, should I say. Scott says, big up to all of you, big up to you as well. Norman in the house, we need a blinder from Vicario. We normally do get one, don't we? We normally do get a blinder. Spurs Crusade, if you remember our game away to Brentford, I think you're going to see the same sort of game. The problem is, Brentford missed their chances. If we get the same kind of game, Fulham will put the ball in the back of the net, I fear. CSJ starting lineup, I don't know. It just feels to me like he's not bothered about the league, which is, I think, is a dangerous game to play, because I don't know about you, Adam, but the more games you win, the more momentum builds up. Yeah. And from momentum, you gain confidence. And it's that confidence that you need to take into every game, because we'll have a Europa Cup game in 2-3 weeks' time. You need momentum and you need confidence going into these games. You don't want to be on the back of lose, and you go into the Europa game, you're on a downer, and then all the pressure rises, and then something has to give. So I think we should take the league seriously and build some momentum and build up our style of play, because fans are saying, oh, but look, when all the players are back, the third goal we scored against Alkmaar was amazing. Well, if you want to see more of that, you've got to put a team out there that's going to build on that and get that momentum, not just in results, but in style of play to take into the Europa. If you keep being a bit half-hearted with your team selection in the league, I don't see how you build up your performances and momentum and style of play.
Well, I just think, along with it, I echo what you're saying, Stel. It's getting consistency now, I think, and it's just getting the players, touch wood, injury-free, and just get them going now and get them warmed up to the games now, where they need to build that momentum before the next game against Frankfurt in the Europa quarterfinals. And we just need that consistency now, but we can't afford to have 1 week, kamikaze football, passing sideward, backwards. I mean, I got livid, like I said before, against Bournemouth last week. I mean, Vicario worries me at times. Only a slight observation of criticism. He nearly scuppered that. Remember when he tried to do a back kind of skill with the opposition striker with Bournemouth and nearly let a goal in? He's just got. I just kept screaming at the TV, said, "Boot that ball out! Boot that ball out!" But they're playing under Ange's direction. You got to keep passing. Got to keep passing. I'm sick of it. You look at Liverpool transition, and I put it on the group WhatsApp last weekend about it. Why can't we play the way they just play, where Alisson gets the ball, throws it quickly out the field, and sees a player that's in a promising position to score on the other end? We're just like tippy tapping backward siren. It's just frustrating the hell out of me. And I just don't want that kind of game, and especially like I said before, in the middle of the transition midfield, we're just kind of too much passing side and back, and then like puff toothing the ball. Where we're trying to compete for the ball, and we've got no chance in hell. Opposition can see us like in a mile, like where we are in our defence, and it's not controlled, it's not calm, it's not transition football how it should be. Where but look, I'm hoping let's just see what Gray does today and see how what we say after the game, what our thoughts are on this. But we just need to have consistency and calm and just of a pattern of our play.
I think you need a consistent team that starts in order to get that. I don't think you can do that simply by just chopping and changing. No. So look, we're going to see. You can normally tell with Spurs after the first 10, 15 minutes what we're going to do, right? You can normally suss us out pretty early on.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we start. We've got to see how Fulham start. They've been a little bit odd at times. They've got it in them to have a wobble, but as the home team, you kind of make them slight favourites because they're at home and they'll have the fans behind them.
Yeah,
and it is a London derby. Their fans are going to want to win this. London derbies are normally the best atmospheres if you support a London club. Spurs, Arsenal, Spurs, Fulham, Spurs, Chelsea, Spurs, West Ham, Spurs, Crystal Palace. They always tend to have a bit more edge than Spurs versus Brighton or Spurs versus Bournemouth or Spurs versus mid-table teams like Wolves and stuff.
I mean, with all the criticism we say about Johnson, I know he just is a tapping goal scorer where he poaches most of the goal where the ball's crossed in and he just taps them in. I mean, again, this is about coaching, and then Angie's got to be questioned about it. I mean, wasn't there never a point to put Johnson more in the middle? Because he was doing it a lot at Forest, wasn't he, when he was getting supplied a lot of, but then he had a good backup of midfield and that was supplying the balls to him when he was at Forest. But why can't they just switch him, put more in the middle?
Yeah, but you see,
blaming him all the time.
Yeah, what you're saying though works if you play with two up top, but we play three across the front line. So in a 4-3-3, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
If we played a 3-5-2, a 4-4-2, a 4-1-3-2, it would work. This is why Iriola for me would work, because he does play a system where he can play with two up top. Doesn't always, but he has shown that he can do it. So
look at Bournemouth played last week. Look at their transition of play. Look how they're cool and
they were fantastic,
brilliant. And they were just unfortunate. Obviously, we drew with them, and their play. You can see what he does with ordinary players. Without, I mean, this is an argument. I talk to my fellow friends where I live, and someone obviously glory hunters, Liverpool fans, etc., etc. And he keeps telling me his name's Mo, by the way. So a big shout out to Mo Khan. If you had a team like what they do, where you could just get a coach that can coach players, not have someone who's just going off the off chance just because he believes in his principle of the high press, but has no clue to kind of defend or has no clue to have a holding midfielder or to adapt and to, change his play when it's not going right. Your team would be a lot bit possession. But then I just say to you, but look, you're trying to flog a dead horse here. What's the catalyst behind our problem? It's the ownership. And he's been watching me closely when I've been telling about everything, and he goes, your chairman needs to kind of do one. It's just, and that's what we want. I think Areola could, under those circumstances, do quite well. But again, it's for how long he can do well. Because I think,
well, look,
we've always said that manage.
Adam, I was going to say, look, we'll discuss Areola on Big Up, because I've got to move it across there. We'll definitely discuss Areola. We'll discuss Silva as well. This might be his audition. His audition for the Spurs job. We'll find out. Guys watching, there's a link just there. It's also attached to the top of the chat, and it's in the description section for this video. Click on the link. Go to Big Up. Jump on. You might be asked to be a member, but it's free. You don't pay. Follow the channel. We're going to go there now. We're going to start the live watch along over there. Adam, you've got the link, haven't you? I've sent it to you. Didn't you?
Yeah.
I did, yeah. Okay. Adam, when you're in the chat at the top, you have to request to join, and then I click a button in it, and it'll bring you in. All right. You just got to request to join the chat. All right, guys. Listen, thanks for being here. Appreciate you all. Everyone over to Big Up for the live watch along. We're going to kick off the game over there. So we'll see you there shortly. Otherwise, come on the Spurs. Let's try and get a win today.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on the Spurs.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.